Hello everyone, welcome to the first YUGICAST video. My name is Silver Contrails on YouTube, and this is not quite an episode, not quite a podcast, not quite part of the series that I want to start here. It's more of a pitch for this channel and what I want to accomplish here, what are my goals, what topics I'll be covering, and what the format is going to be. So, I write articles for TCG Player, do some blogging, and it's frustrating to write out all those words and then see things that you put out be either ignored or not fully fleshed out as much as you'd want. It's tough to keep those mediums updated as often as you like. There's definitely a gap between what you put out, and blogging is a little bit faster than article writing. The downside to that is it's a little bit more professional, and in that way you have to be a little bit more careful about what you put out, and there's a lot of things that I do want to discuss that never get put into article form because they just can't run the 2000 word gauntlet. If you're going to write 2000 words on a subject, it better be a good subject, and sometimes there are things that I don't want to write about for that long but I think are just as important. Whether that be metagame trends or something on the side, maybe maybe something based on the community that really isn't that important, but is something that people are still going to want to hear. Let's say the people who create mats. I can't talk about them realistically in an article because I can't write 2,000 words on them, but I could talk about them in a short 10 to 15 minute video, which was the foundation for this channel. The idea that I could put out a bunch of short videos, discuss a topic, leave it open for comments, hit back up on that topic in the next video, and then go on something else. And that would be pretty cool, I think. But there are some drawbacks to that. The first of all is it's not really a podcast, which is what I was looking for at first. And if it's not a podcast, then what exactly am I going for? So, in addition to weekly or semi-weekly videos, which I guess you could call like soapboxes almost, I'd want a monthly podcast with a couple of other people. We talk for 45 minutes or so, maybe close to an hour, about a large number of topics. Things like release dates, OCG news, metagame discussion, specific cards that we decide beforehand or that viewers want us to talk about. And that would be really fun to do, and we'd get a lot accomplished. It'd be pretty good, a good supplement to everything else that's going on. Or maybe the other way around. Maybe that's the main channel attraction and the soapboxes are supplemental. So there would be some deck discussions, some basically like throwing up a DNet picture on a podcast or having a deck list into the description and talking about that, whether it be about a specific deck that needs to be discussed or something new that we've created or that I've created or something that I'd like to talk about, as well as for events. And this is something that I thought was really cool, maybe even doing some kind of live streaming of an event, and not as in being there and then talking about it, but podcasting while it's going on and talking about it. I think that would be really cool, or to have that same thing happen when big news breaks. You could have a live stream and have viewers message you and have you talk about things, and that would certainly be interesting and something that I think the Yu-Gi-Oh community doesn't have right now. And that's pretty important. If you can find something that the community doesn't have, and you can do it better than you can do it good enough, actually, because you don't even have to be better than a whole lot. If you can do it well enough that people will tune in, then you're going to get a lot of views. And overall, I'm not doing this so much because AdSense and all that nonsense, because I actually am not a fan of using AdSense. I don't use it on any of my videos. But I will say that it would be nice to be able to put out a lot more of my ideas, a lot more of the discussions that I have with other people, or that uh, my friends would have in a podcast discussion themselves. Being able to put those out more consistently and in a reasonable format, something you could listen to while you're browsing Facebook or Reddit, or while you're playing on DNet, because we all know Yu-Gi-Oh players don't have lives. But it should be interesting to see how we can get this to go. And of course, one of the main reasons I'm doing this is to hear comments back about what you think this channel is capable of, what you think you would like to listen to. That's really important. Where this channel can go is really up to the people who are going to tune in. So it's pretty important that I hear back from them. And specifically, there's a few people that I already know that I want to take part in a group podcast, but we could certainly have guest members as well. And depending on schedules, I might have to use guest members more often than not. I listen to a lot of ESPN radio, and I like how they format their discussions and stuff. So it'd be pretty cool to have something like that going on, and being able to talk about all the nonsense that happens in this game and all the news, especially the news, which is a really big part of it, because you simply don't get news outside of Shriek and the message boards, which I think is really kind of weird. A good summary of what's going on is pretty nice, but it's also nice to have a video go up and discuss really important news. And you see that a little bit right now, but not to the extent that I think is going to be good enough. So hopefully this does work out. Hopefully there's enough here that we can make something work. And I'd like this to be a good summer project for both myself and anyone else who wants to participate. And basically actively looking for volunteers to help with every part of it. And I mean, you can help simply by saying, I like this about it, I don't like this about the idea, or you should probably do this, etc., etc. And especially if you already do YouTube videos and you have some tips and tricks and stuff that you'd like to bring out, hopefully this channel ends up being something substantially more than other channels are, because we're bringing in other people. Hopefully it becomes bigger than just another person looking at their computer screen and chirping into it about random nonsense, which, not to say those videos are necessarily bad, but they do leave a lot to be desired, which is really important. We need videos that are giving us everything we want, because especially if you're going to sit down for a 45-minute podcast, you're definitely going to want not only some good people talking, but some people who are bringing up insightful topics and making you think. That's really important. So that's about all I have to say. I'm looking forward to everyone's opinions on this, and hopefully we can get something started here pretty soon and actually begin recording. So until next time then.